Hello, welcome once again to the second video that we're doing here, and I thought what we might do this time is have a look at some things I've picked up fairly recently. Now, as you may know if you've been living in the UK, the weather hasn't been particularly great. Couple that with the time of year it is and visiting friends and family and what have you, it's not been the busiest time to go out and do any pickups, but we've managed to find our way through it. The last few weekends haven't been particularly good, but I did manage to get out last weekend, which would have been the 24th of March. First time I've been able to get out. A bit of disaster, because I was planning on getting out quite early, and then when I did leave home I was halfway to my first destination and I found out that I'd forgotten my wallet and all my money, so I had to go back home again, and by the time I got home and got back out it was just too late to do anything about it. So we rather than go to three places, I tend to sort of go around the local charity shop and things. Had to go around two, so not quite the trip I planned on doing. However, we can always say that if we go out and find something decent, then there we go, it's all worthwhile. Now, as I said in my previous video, I do tend to err on the side of the real sort of stuff. Basically, I would say the things that you would walk past, you sort of see them and go, I have no interest in that whatsoever. And I would then come along and say, ooh, that's 50p, or that's a quid, or I haven't got that one, or that looks really rubbish. And I just like to play it and see how bad it is, and then put it on the shelf and leave it there to gather dust, and hopefully at one point in the future it might double its value. Who knows? We never know, do we? We won't know until we get to the point where all those games have been destroyed and disappeared. So let's run through what we've picked up. And you'll see what I mean as we go through these. Let's start with Madden 2007 on the PS2. Yep, there we go. Typical example of the sort of thing that I will pick up. I've already got this one for the Wii and the PS3. I think it was one of the very first PS3 games I bought when I got it. It was 50p from one of my local charity shops. Nice looking condition game. I do like American football as a sport anyway. I've been watching it since it was first on Channel 4 back in the early 80s over here in the UK, followed it all the way through. And to be honest with you, it's one thing I really look forward to as we get towards autumn and into the winter with the NFL and the college season. It's always something useful. So one of those I haven't got. I've got plenty of other Madden games, but that one was missing for the PS2. So 50p, not too bad. Next up, there we go, we've got the Herbs Sims in the City, also on PS2. I've got that for the Xbox. Not a bad condition copy, not great. It ties in with the iToy, which I've got knocking around somewhere, which again you can pick up for absolutely next to nothing, if not less than that, as they say. I've never played a Sims game much more than, well, messing around with it, so it's one of those that I shall probably try and play and get fed up with after about 5-10 minutes or so, and realise it's going to require far more time than I have got on my hand stroke in my lifetime to play. Not that I haven't short of Sims games. I've got so that on the Xbox. I've also got Sims 2 Castaway for the PS2 and the Wii, and I think I've got Sims 2 Pets for the Wii and the PlayStation 2 as well. So one of those I'm going to probably pick up at some point and put down again more or less as quickly. Here's an interesting one, purely because there's a story attached to it. This is SingStar Rocks on the PS2. Nothing particularly special about that either, is there, except that one, I don't have a USB microphone, and two, I can't sing. I played SingStar on the PS3 around a friend's house about 3, 4, 5 years ago possibly, and when you hear yourself sing back it's pretty awful. It was pretty awful at the time anyway, but it's one of those again that I haven't got any SingStar games for. I've got a few other singing games. For the Wii I've got U-Sing, possibly. Yeah, I've got U-Sing. I think it was 50p. Maybe less than that actually. I think I don't want to bought that one at all for. But it's something else that I can sort of have a go at one point and say, yeah, it's actually got some interesting. You look at the tracks on the back, and it's like even buying like the Guitar Hero or something like that, and you think, oh, I quite fancy playing that. And then you sort of look through these, and yeah, Don't Stop Me Now, Run, my favourite game. Somebody told me paint it black, winds of change. Yeah, I can. The boys are back. I can see him having a go at that. Very, very quietly. Very, very quietly. But yeah, 50p. What can I say? And then finally, which I think was a good one, what I paid for it, and this is Gran Turismo 4 on the PS2, which now means I have 1 and 2 on the PS1, 3, 4, and the 2002 Toyota Geneva concept game, and also 5, the Academy, on the PS3. So got quite a few of these games now. Not so happy with the condition of this box. It was a bit grubby. I tend to leave the grubby ones behind, especially this is white as opposed to being sort of black or blue. Like the SingStar case, the SingStar's one. That's going to stick out like a sore thumb on the collection. Box was a bit grubby, but it wasn't that bad. I've seen an awful. I'm honestly some I've picked up before, and I'm like, put them straight down straight away. But inside, it's all right actually. The condition of the actual box inside is really nice. And that was 50p. Now I checked that afterwards. I can probably pay about £2 to £2.50 or went into somewhere like CEX. So 50p for that was good. And the good thing was they were £1 originally, but they marked down to 50p. Those last three, the Herbs, SingStar, Gran Turismo 4, they were all marked up £1, but they had a Blue Cross sale on the charity shop. You should have a Blue Cross sale with Debenhams, don't you? This one was a charity shop close to me, and they were doing those therefore at 50p each. So really, for £1, actually it was 49p they rung through. That's £1.47 plus 50p for Madden in the one place I went to, less than £2, and I got 4 games. Gran Turismo 4 I'm very happy with. The other ones, it's market value. You wouldn't expect them to pay any more than that. If you were being ripped off, sort of thing. And then we went round to another town, my local town. I always try and pop in there every week if I can. I haven't been actually for 3 or 4, and sometimes they have good sections, and sometimes they got a small CEX in there as well, which usually if I haven't bought anything in any of the charity shops or second-hand shops or anything like that, I end up in CEX and see if they've got anything, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. I won't sort of buy something just for the sake of buying something. If I walk in and they've got a load of generic 50p games in CEX, unless they've got something that's sort of out of left field or looks a bit silly or got an interesting cover, I'll show you some of those covers at some point. Let's say he's got an interesting cover, a cover that sort of, you go, ooh, I wonder what that game's like. I won't go and buy a load of generic stuff out of CEX just because I'm there to come back with something. I'd quite happily leave it on the shelf and I can get the generic stuff at any point in time. And that Madden, for example, that was a nice condition copy. The Madden inside is nice, the disc nice, the book, the case is nice as well. The cover's pretty good. For 50p, it's a nice looking condition game and much better than some of the ones I've seen knocking around. However, my local town was absolute rubbish this week. Absolutely nothing at all. You know when you're going into places like charity shops and you see they've got a load of games in and immediately think, oh great, and then you get there and you realise you've either got every single one of them or you realise that you can get those games cheaper somewhere else. One that does usually, I think it's 50p a game or a DVD, or 3 for £1, had a nice stack of PS2 games, except I got every single one of them. There was nothing there that I could buy. There was nothing that was worth anything beyond the value to sort of bring it and trade it, or hold it for, or I had a better copy of. There was just no point in buying any of them. It was a real shame. And there was another place that had about 6 or 7 Wii games, and I got all those as well. It comes to a point when you sort of walk into places like that and you go, I've got all these. And it wasn't that long ago you walked into somewhere thinking, loads of games I haven't got, and now it's like, I've got all those. How disappointing. You walk out and then you get more and more disappointed, and then you go home empty-handed. However, on this particular occasion, one charity shop was, surprise, something you don't see in the wild very often, and got some GameCube games in. Now, the GameCube was a console I actually bought on the release date. It's the only console to date I bought when it came out on its first day. I honestly thought there would be a stampede of people outside Virgin Megastore queuing up to get their GameCubes at 10 o'clock in the morning, but when I got there, there was absolutely nothing. I'd even gone to the trouble of taking a holdall with me. I say a whole sports bag to carry it around in case anybody saw me taking out the shop and wanted to sort of jump me while on my way back to the car. No, it didn't happen. I remember being very disappointed with the GameCube when I first had it, because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. The games that came out, I think on the launch, I had Monkey Ball and the Star Wars Rogue Leader game. And I just remember the titles that came out very at launch weren't all that great. I could be wrong, but I just remember being very underwhelmed by it. And it wasn't that long before, having tried things like Super Smash Brothers, there's probably a couple as well we had as sort of tried and we just didn't get on with, and we ended up trading it in for an Xbox, which I've still got. I still have the Xbox that I traded it in for. I was going to appreciate the GameCube a bit more, because it was a bit of a quirky console. And actually, I've got a nice little selection of games for the Cube now, and some of those have sort of actually increased in value, and I bought them at a very low price. So I was quite happy with that, to see that those games are done. I've seen Super Paper Mario, the 1,000-year door, 100-year door, I can't remember exactly what it's called, 50-60 quid. It's just a lot of money to pay for a second-hand game, but I haven't got that one. But I do have things like Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, off the top of my head, I'm trying Mario Party 5, I think it is, Super Mario, Mario Kart Double Dash. I'm just thinking these are actually behind me. I'm just trying to think of the top of my head. But I've got about 5 or 6 games that probably would retail now for 20 to 30 quid each, so I haven't done too bad picking up fairly cheaply. But this one particular place had something going back. You'll find we'll just go off on tangents here. Going back, there was a game on the shelf, and I thought, oh, GameCube game, and there were actually 3 games on the shelf. Surprise, surprise. But they were all priced up at £2.50. Now, £2.50 is a lot to pay in a second charity shop. It's for charity, I understand that, but that's more than I like to spend on a game, unless I know that game is, you know, if it was like New Super Mario Brothers Wii or something, you know, high value game like that I know goes for double figures. If I'm going to see it, I'll pay double figures for it. I'd buy something like that for £2.50, no problem at all. But if it's something fairly generic, I wouldn't. Now, the one game I did pick up, I was going to pick up, was this one. I did pick it up, didn't I, because it's here. This is Star Wars The Clone Wars, because I thought, well, at £2.50, Star Wars games do tend to, you know, be fairly sort of sought after if people are looking at collections, and they do so. So I bought that for £2.50. I went to look at the counter, the girl said, oh no, she said, it's £3 for £1. And I was like, £3 for £1? So you sure? Because I see your price is at £2.50 each. And she said, oh, I'll just check for you. So she went up and checked, and lo and behold, the manager come back, yeah, we everything today, CDs, DVDs, games, £3 for £3. So we picked up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Oh yeah, yep, that's what I'm saying. And James Bond 007 Nightfire, which is one of the original titles they used Pierce Brosnan's likeness and voice for. Completely new story, original bits and pieces. There were 3 of these games. There was Nightfire, there was Everything or Nothing, and there was another one which I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've got it somewhere. I know I've got it somewhere. I'm not going to go looking for it now. So those 3 for £1. Now that's not bad, is it? Now, if I was to buy those retail 9 or 10 quid, if I was trading them in, selling them, I wouldn't get much more than a couple of £3 for them. But total spent on Saturday the 24th of March, £2.97. And I don't think we did too badly out of that. I don't think we did too badly. There's nothing there, as we said, particularly valuable or rare or sought after. But again, if I probably did try and buy these in a second-hand shop, or say second-hand shop, I'm talking about CEX, £10 to £15, and I spent less than £3. So I think that's a bit of a win, really. And there's some more things on the shelf to fill in. There we go. So hopefully, with Easter coming up, there might be an opportunity to go and do a bit more perusing around, possibly during the week, which is unusual because I tend to sort of do my journeys on a Saturday. So it'd be nice to be able to get out during the week, possibly towards the end of next week, and see if I can tackle things from a different angle. But again, I've got work on and things like that, so it'll be quite difficult to do. We'll have to see. But if we do find anything, I shall do my very best to pop on here and share all that with you. and hopefully you'll get some enjoyment out of it. If you don't, then there we go, just ramblings of just another old man who still thinks he's much younger than he actually is. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.